Welcome to Reality After Show. We are so happy that you're here joining us this evening, myself, Lyrsa, and Lauren, as we wrap up our cast draft for Survivor 46. How are you all doing this evening?
Ready to put a bow on 46. Let's wrap it up, folks. That's why we're here. Yes. Here to talk the results.
Let's talk the results. You're ready to put a bow on it because if people remember from our first episode, we had a little wager that we had established, and Lauren, as it turns out, is the winner of $20 from both Lyrsa and I. So she is
second in a row because she won the other time too. She won before.
All the luck on my side, but yes, with the number one draft pick, I did get Kinsey correct based solely on the vibes, because that's all we really look at is the bio and what they have to say. And that's all the knowledge we know going into the draft, which makes it super fun for us to do. And hopefully one of these two can break my streak for their sake the next time we do it.
I hope so. I need $20. I gotta win.
I need $20.
That $20 for the side of gas that you need that only fills up your tank maybe a third with $20 nowadays.
Oh yeah, I put in $65 in gas in my tank today. So
what car do you have?
I have a Dodge Durango.
Oh, that's a big car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it takes a little gas. Okay, so I just want to remind the listeners and the viewers, if you're watching us on YouTube, hey, welcome to the show. I just want to remind everybody who chose who, and I don't have a fancy little graphic to share on the screen, but that's okay. The listeners will appreciate having a list read to them anyway. So for Lauren, your contestants included Hunter, Soda, Kenzie, Jelinski, Tiffany, and Tevin. Lyrsa, your contestants included Jess, Tim, Mariah, Venus, Randon, and Liz. And my contestants included Ben, Charlie, Maria, Jem, Banu, and Q.
See, if we were looking at the final six, I was sitting there going, Cody has the win here, right? Because of all the people you had left. My people are getting voted out. Idols, left, right, and center, all the way across the board.
I think mine were all voted out before the merge, right? Except Venus and Liz. That's the only thing I had left.
Yeah, when I sent this message to the chat group, you had Venus and Liz left. Lauren had Hunter, Kenzie, Tiffany, and Tevin left. And I had Ben, Charlie, Maria, and Q left. So this was probably around merge time.
Lyrsa, your only hope was Liz there at the end. How were you feeling going in, knowing that was your only hope at the money?
Not good. I have to be honest. She gave us like really good dramatic scenes over the top, but I knew that I wasn't gonna win. I am sorry, Liz, but I don't know where that comment was made that if you were at the final, I don't feel that she was gonna get the votes to win if she was in the final three.
So, yeah, I think she talked a lot about how successful she is outside of Survivor, and I know it's pretty controversial among viewers and contestants about whether or not you should vote for somebody at Tribal based on their need or what they would do with the money. But I think it plays a factor in a lot of people's minds.
It does. Yeah.
You know, this person is already a millionaire. What do they need another $1 million when we could change one of these other people's lives?
I feel it does, especially now due to the climate that we have regarding like the economy. So I think I will have taken that into consideration. Like not on my season, but like right now, like who really like I will look at both. Like who played a really good game, but also needs more of the money.
I guess my main question is, because obviously you've played before, but how much what's the percentage of how much it factors? Does the gameplay have a higher percentage than what someone's going to do with the money in your personal opinion?
I think it would, mostly because I I mean, if I were in my tribal, and I think I have said this before, in my jury, I would have given the prize. Like I would have voted for Mike because I think he played a great game, and I kind of knew Nick's background a little bit before it came out to the world. So I was definitely not gonna support that cause, even though Mike had a lot of money. So I think it does play like I think it's a whole like all around thing. But nowadays I would like probably way more also who really needs the money right now. But at that point, Mike's hands down. He was my guy.
Yeah, it's so tough because as you're watching, every single jury is different on how they weigh who they're going to consider voting for in the end. And I think that's a big thing when you are going and sitting in the final three is, did I tailor enough to what these people consider in a winner? Because some seasons are all the strategic, flashy moves. Other seasons, such as this one with the jury based it on, was what's this person doing with the money? How social were they? How likable were they? So it's just depending on who's sitting there on the jury. With if you're sitting in a final three on one season, you could win that season, but in a different season, you might not because the jury isn't what they're looking for in that final vote for you.
Yeah. I wish I was in this tribal and final because they would have given me the money. I really need money, but I missed the chance. Maybe I should have applied like now and not when I did.
You should apply again.
Well, this is for 50. Come on, 50.
Right,
Needing
Jeff
some
Probst.
money here.
Jeff Probst, if you're listening, and we know that you are.
I feel bad he doesn't like me, but it's okay.
Of course he likes you.
They have to love you.
How do you not like Lyrsa?
I don't know.
Jeez.
All I want now is for Jeff to. I don't even care about being on the show now. No, that's bullshit. But if he can connect me to Taylor Tomlinson or John love it. If you are listening to this and you can connect me to Taylor, I would like really appreciate it. That's all I want right now. Like Survivor come next.
Just the one single request. So I guess obviously we're doing a wrap up. We did the beginning where we did the draft. We came in mid-season and we checked in with all of our players where they were standing, and now we're at the complete end of it. What were y'all's thoughts? We'll start at the final three of our final three and how their gameplay evolved or didn't evolve throughout the course of the game.
Well, I'll touch on one person for a moment, and I'm going to circle back to him only because this was my prediction for him at the start of the season. We had Charlie in the final three, right? That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a couple weeks, and my brain has already started to dump some Survivor knowledge from this season.
Charlie, Ben, and Kenzie.
Yep.
So Charlie, when we did the draft, I believe, I don't remember exactly how I phrased it, but I remember making the argument that he looked like a guy you would take with you to the final three, but he wouldn't win. Like, he'd kind of be there for the ride and just be a safe bet to bring him with you. People would like him, they get along with him, take him to the final three, and I think that's kind of how it played out in the game. He was never really a threat to anybody. He made it to the final three, and unfortunately for him, it just didn't work out for him at all.
What's your take on Charlie, Lyrsa?
First of all, Charlie, I already texted him. I want to apologize to him because every time he had a thing, I wasn't in the city, so I couldn't go. From the three of them, I thought Charlie was gonna win because he didn't make that much damage to the jury in his moves. He was really good socially. And he had like a really good resume, like in general. So I thought, okay, it's going to be like Charlie because I was counting on Maria voting for him. So to me, that like from the beginning, when I saw Charlie, I was like, I don't think he's going to last because he's too skinny and he could not shut up about Taylor Swift. Like, what the fuck, bro? And as he starts like playing the game, he starts developing this thing that I'm like, oh my god, Charlie's doing such a good job. Like he is great. So I think that with Charlie we see an evolution that we were not expecting from what we read, and we saw of him in the beginning. Um, so honestly, from the three of them, I had the suspicions that Kenzie was gonna win, but I honestly thought that the jury was gonna give it to Charlie because he had a great game.
Right. I thought Charlie played awesome as well too, but it comes down to the factor of, not to say that he wasn't likable either, but I think Kenzie was
Mm-hmm.
more likable,
Mm-hmm.
and it came down to the money factor as well, which is a bit of a bummer because I it's it's hard. Charlie's a bit younger, right, than Kenzie is. I think
I think so.
he was about 25 when he was playing the game, and Kinsey was 28, 20, 29. So those 4 years do make a difference. And obviously, too, we all knew that Ben was not going to get any votes just based on what we saw throughout the season with the edit. However, I do think everyone adored Ben, but
Oh
in their
yeah.
eyes, they didn't see Ben as making any pinpoint moves that were going to propel his game to the finish.
And I want to correct something that I said earlier. As I mentioned, my brain has started to dump survivor knowledge. All of the commentary that I provided was related to Ben, not to Charlie. I'm pretty sure I said it.
Well, now that you mentioned Ben,
Yeah.
I do have like a connection with Ben because my sister and him know each other from like the music scene in Miami. And I really like Ben as a person, as a character, but I felt that he was like maybe too nice to win. Like I didn't see that he developed like moves on his own enough to grant him winning, even though he was fantastic. Like I really like him, and he's such a nice guy. I already have plans with him when I go and see my sister, like meet up and chill and listen to what's the band that he likes.
Metallica.
Yeah, that one. So we'll listen to a little bit of Metallica, but he's a very likable kid. But I didn't think that he was gonna win.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. As I kind of talked about earlier, I was sitting here listening to you guys talk, and I was like, I don't know if we saw the same contestant because all the things you're saying don't make a lot of sense to me. And then I realized I'm talking about Ben, not Charlie. That's why it doesn't make any sense. For me, I think the final three really also came down to jury speeches. I think Kenzie did a really great job articulating her game to the jury, and the other two just kind of fell short in being able to provide good examples and really demonstrate why they should get the vote.
Yeah, like I said, it's difficult, and every jury's different, and they weigh their options on who they want to vote for based on what matters to them. So, for instance, what mattered to Q, Q's mind changed. I think Q was going to go the other direction with was being talked about the after show, but then once she made that statement about what she was going to do, he flipped his vote. But the one thing I do like is people coming in on a jury not having their mind completely 100% made up with who they're voting for. They're willing to at least listen to what they have to say, because you work so hard to get to the end. You want to at least have the moment to share what you did behind the scenes that people might not even know about, and that can change someone's mind.
Or things that were possibly misconstructed by the people voted out because they didn't also have the whole information. They have part of it. I always say that in a story, there's actually three versions, like what one person experienced, what the other person experienced, and the reality of the situation. And I think that third like reality possibly is tribal. Like all the cards are out and people can like talk and like go back and forth, so the other jury members can have a more clear idea of what happened. So it is good not to have like a preconceived decision of like, oh, I'm gonna vote for this person because we were buddies and we did move together, or like we did this or we did that, or you know. Sorry,
Absolutely.
I guess.
I think let's move on and transition to one of the bigger characters of the whole season in general, but especially when we hit the merge, and that was Q. what were both of y'all's thoughts on how Q progressed through the merge?
I think Q is such a unique person, and he brought so
Mhm.
much energy to the game, and that made him really fun to watch. So it was fun tuning in there. I think a little bit that his personality, because he's got such a big and outgoing personality, that may have worked against him a little bit,
Mhm.
getting on some people's nerves and led to his demise.
I think he managed well the cards he was dealt because he was changing almost every episode to try to stay a little bit longer. But I'm a little bit also confused because this is a person that apparently didn't want to be there. So I was very confused with him the whole season because at some point you don't want to be here, but then you want to keep playing and be safe, but you're not comfortable be there. Like I don't know, his emotions like were so mixed up that to me was a little bit challenging to discover Q and see what was Q all about because he was like flip flopping on himself, if you could say.
Yeah, I
I
think we
think
saw that a lot in like tribal council where he made a case to be there, but then we were also seeing clips of him saying he was ready to go and people should vote for him, and it was kind of hot and cold all the time about where
Hmm.
he really stood in the game. And for me, if I were a player on this game, having worked, these people work incredibly hard to get to where they are. I mean, there's you've gone through this process, how difficult it is to actually get cast and be on the show, and some people try their whole life and never make it. So to be out there and want to just kind of throw it away, I think if I were a player and Q had made it to the final three, his uneasiness about being there may have influenced my vote a little bit.
And I wonder if all of these moves that he like telling out the juror, like a tribal, oh, vote for this person instead of me or vote me out. If these were like moves for him getting voted out, but like using like deflecting, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we're like I'm trying to make some move and like trying to save myself, but I actually want them to vote me out. I don't know if I'm translating well what I'm thinking. So yeah, that's my vision of Q.
Almost like he was trying to do like reverse psychology on them. Like I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
them I
yeah,
want them to
yeah,
vote me out, and then but I don't really want them to. And if I tell them I want to, they won't. They'll target somebody else.
and I'm a number, and you can use me as a number. But if you vote me out, it's gonna be okay because you actually don't want me to be here. So I don't know. It was like too much turmoil in just one person.
Q was playing a game within himself with himself that entire merge portion of the game. Because also, I think too, it's I kind of saw it as he did want to leave, but he didn't want to quit. He was at peace with, okay, if it happens, not a problem, but I don't want to actually quit the show. And I think that was what he was battling within himself throughout the game as it got more and more difficult.
I think I mentioned it in our chat. I wonder if because last season so many people quit, if they for this season like production made them sign something that said you can't quit, right? what they were gonna lose if they quit, right? Because if even if you are even if you quit, I think you still get paid. I don't know if you get paid for the reunion, but I wonder if they say like if you like quit. For example, in my season, Jeremy quit the reunion. So he
Right.
wasn't invited to the he left early, he wasn't invited to the reunion, and because he wasn't there, he didn't get paid that money for the reunion, right? So I wonder if they made him sign something that said if you quit, then you're not gonna get paid any money, you're not gonna get like any social media verified, like you're not gonna have anything to like start this because what I feel a lot of people are using now, most of this show, like it has always been the idea, but they're achieving it more with platforms like Cameo and TikTok and monetizing their adventure. I think it's more of a common thing now than it was, for example, in my season. I don't feel
Yeah.
like my season monetized so much out of being in the show. So I wonder if they're signed something And that's why nobody quit this season, because we saw some people that, like you, that were like on the verge of quitting. Some people asked to be voted out, but nobody actually quit the season. So I want to figure out what happened there.
Yep, and we're gonna rely on you to get the inside scoop.
I have
on
people
all
to
this
ask.
thing. Yeah,
I'll ask
Exactly. And then you come share the wealth of knowledge with all
I
of
will
us.
share. I don't have any NDA anymore. I can share whatever I want.
There you go. Well, let's move on and talk about the idol blunders that occurred throughout the merge, because I honestly, I'm stunned this is the way that it went down. Because you would think after you saw two people even mess it up, all right, maybe I should just play it just to play it to make sure I'm good.
Even if I play it wrong. But yeah, it was so terrible, the idols this season. But funny to watch, though.
I remember sitting there watching my wife, and I'm like, is anybody at all this season going to at least try to play an idol, let alone play it correctly, but at least try to put it forward? It was crazy seeing week after week somebody leave with an idol in their pocket, and I don't know if everybody was aware of all the people that had idols, like that it happened like 3 times in a row or how many ever times, but I was just like, man, this is I've never seen this many idols just walk out of the game without being used.
Right. Venus, for example, play the idol. That Venuses and Hunters, in my opinion, were the two worst ones of I don't understand why they didn't play the idol. Tiffany, I think Tiffany was definitely, she was gambling there, but I definitely think she was more so very much blindsided because Kenzie was left out of that vote. So there was a lot of different variables coming into that. But Hunter, you knew you were low.
He was a target. Yeah. And Venus too.
Yeah, and I think they just did a good job making Hunter feel comfortable right before Tribal. But I really wish he would have seen right through that, because of course they want to make you feel comfortable. And the other thing is he did such a great job keeping his idol a secret right up until it really mattered. And then just like spill the beans to everybody. And I was like, no, why are you doing this?
Why? Nobody apparently heard Sandra when she went on Australia Blood versus Water and said, "You never tell anybody that you have an idol. You never say it. It's your secret. Once it's out there, you're done. You're not gonna have it. You're not gonna have it. You will have to pay it at some point. It's a target."
Yeah.
Well, look at what Q did. Q told people about Tiffany's idol, and I'm sitting here saying to myself, especially, pre-merge, you can keep that to yourself because you're still developing those relationships with everybody. I could see if you're making a move maybe last minute before a tribal council and are trying to talk someone into doing something different, like, hey, it's going to work in our favor because of this reasoning. But the amount of people that knew about everyone's idols, what was going on, of course people are going to find a way to flush it from you or just blindside you and get you out of the game.
Yeah, and you automatically become a target. I feel like Survivor is a game where you can't trust anybody. I think that's pretty well known. So going in and thinking that you can just tell all of these people about your idol and everything is going to be hunky dory that's really not a great tactic to take into such a cutthroat game.
I bet you that. Wait. 47 was filmed back to back to this one?
45 and 46 back to back.
So people from 47 had the chance to watch this season, right?
Ooh, they probably saw a little bit of it.
They started, but they didn't see the whole like back to back idols being like flush and blindsided.
Probably not, because I think 47 started filming in May somewhere, so they probably saw definitely the pre-merge, but I'm not sure they would have caught anything of the merge going into it.
We'll see maybe in 48, then people will start playing the idols right away, even if I think that will transition then into 48. the whole idol, not using it, thinking about it. Should I play it?
Us as viewers too when we're gauging all this, because we're not in that hot seat, that moment of, do I go with how my gut's feeling? It is the last conversation I had with someone, a genuine, real conversation before going into the vote. So your head's probably just spinning in all different directions if you're holding an idol. I almost say it sometimes might be easier if you don't have an idol in your pocket, because and you're not doing everything bouncing back and forth and within your mind, because if you don't have it and you get voted out, okay, well, I didn't have anything to save myself. But if you do get voted out with the idol, I had something that I could have saved myself with. I'm shooting myself in the foot now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think also we don't get the opportunity to see every conversation that took place, or and in some cases we see more obviously than the person who's holding the idol saw. They don't see all the other conversations that are taking place, so they can't factor that into their decision making. So
what I did appreciate about the season was the fact that advantages did not completely factor in throughout the entire season. It didn't change the game drastically, which I do appreciate, because I'm very much of an old school person. With less advantages, I think makes the game better. Even though there were all these idols in play, the fact that they didn't work out, it was still good TV to see all the blind sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
one twist that I do think I like is the beware advantage twist. I like a little bit that, like, you gotta find the idol, and then most of the time you gotta work for it. You gotta take a little risk to get there. Not the idol, but the clue. You gotta find the clue, and then you find it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
yeah, how do you feel about how advantages have evolved throughout Survivor, Lyrsa?
There's so many that it's so difficult to keep track of them sometimes, and how you get them, and then how do you activate them. It's like a freaking like gift card, that you have to scratch the activation code. Like I get lost, to be honest. I do like I think the shot in the dark, it's tricky, but it's kind of like my favorite, because it's you pick, and it's your own fate, and you're taking the decision of what you want to make. But there's so many idols, and the chances of making fake idols is even bigger now, I feel. So it gets like even more confusing, because then people are making plans based on a fake idol. So I will appreciate if they take at least one of the 10 advantages that they have now. Just
What?
which one?
I was going to say, one thing we can be grateful that we no longer have our fire tokens. That was a hot mess.
Oh yeah, that was super stupid too. I understand the purpose of it due to the season, like, but the fire tokens were stupid. Man, it felt like they were like trying to like find cool stuff to add, and they came up with it, and it wasn't good.
It just wasn't it.
We never saw it again, so I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But I do want to play a fun scenario with both of you. Just thinking about this, if this were to have happened, I just want to see who you guys think would have won. Say the final three would have been Ben, Charlie, Maria. Who do you think gets the win between the three of them? Because if we're watching throughout the season, Maria and Charlie play very similar games. Obviously, I don't see Ben in that scenario getting any votes there either. So I'm curious to know what y'all's thoughts would be on that.
You want to go, Cody, or do you want me to go?
I'm kind of processing it all. I feel like more people were aware of Maria's game than Charlie's. Like, Charlie played a good game, but I think he played it very quietly.
Yeah.
And based on his performance in the final tribal that he was in, where he really wasn't able to articulate his game, I think Maria would have done the same thing that Kenzie did and gone in and been able to provide a much bigger resume to the jury. And so ultimately, I think she wins if she goes with those
Yeah.
two.
I feel with Maria, final three, she will have won. Yeah. Because it was more, everybody, like Cody said, everybody was more aware of what she was doing. Like, there wasn't like a secrecy like Charlie had. I feel like he played a great game with her, and he did see his moves, but he was more of a shy player, right? So I think that people will have possibly given the money to Maria. And having two kids, if they were gonna base it on like people needing the money, you have two kids, college is expensive, and all of that.
Right. She would have tailored well with that, like jury in particular, because that's what they were looking for at the end. And then, yeah, I think Charlie has to sit with Ben and Liz to get the win on this season, unfortunately, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
No, Liz was supposed to win. Didn't you hear that?
I'm so sorry.
If she is at the final, she will have won, and I will
Nobody
have
will
won
stand a
$20.
chance.
Nobody.
I'm so sorry. I erased that.
Not
from my
even
mind.
Maria. Not
I
even
told you.
Maria.
No,
She told
she
you
would have
straight
beaten
out.
everybody. Clean floor with her. I just put it away, like outside of my mind, because I just couldn't believe it. I have never heard a statement such as that before, where I'm sitting there saying, "Did I watch the same season that everybody else watched?"
What happened behind the camera that we didn't see? Like what they cut out that we didn't see that you feel so confident? I mean, we're still talking about this, right? I'm not
Yeah,
dropping
yeah.
this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
What make you feel so confident that you like what happened that you think that you were gonna win? Honestly. It would have been
I've got nothing.
if she would have won, unfortunately, it was gonna be like Erica, that we like a lot of people because of her edit like didn't understand. And then when you talk to the people that were there, you were like, oh, I see it now. Right. So
Yeah.
if Liz would have won this season, I needed information from inside.
Yeah. Well, I think that the only way to really get to the bottom of this, we'll put out an open invite, Liz, if you're out there and listening, and we know that you are. Come on and talk to us. Let us know what
We
the hell
know
you're talking
you
about.
are. No, I just because I feel that if and not trying to shame Liz's game, but if she actually made some move and made some decisions that she really thinks she will have deserved the title, then what happened? What were those? Like I just really need explanation. What we didn't see, right?
Right. What I will give her though, she gave some really good TV moments. So,
Oh,
you know, I'll give her that all day long.
Definitely. If she's not a spokesperson for Applebee's, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know
I
who
better
there is.
see Liz on an Applebee's commercial.
The commercial, all the passion is right there. I have never seen someone so passionate about their Applebee's food.
Applebee's got every penny out of their like product placement spot that they, I'm sure, paid good money for. They got every penny out of it. They got so much attention from that moment that
Definitely.
they're happy with that investment.
Maybe she and Karishma can go on an Applebee's date and enjoy it together.
And advertise it everywhere.
Oh my god, that would be a great commercial, actually.
I would be fine seeing that.
I wouldn't be moved to go to Applebee's, but I think it will be clever and I will enjoy it because I we know the background of it.
For sure.
So since 50, obviously we brought up a little tidbit over earlier in the podcast. From this season, is anybody coming back for 50, and who would it be? Do we think we get anyone from this season for 50? Between two people that I think we could see.
Silence.
Go ahead, Lyrsa.
I will bring Charlie back because I do think he played a really good game. It was unfortunate that the fire in Kenzie's eyes was so powerful that moved Maria to change her vote. So the next fire challenge, which will blindfold people or the jury, and they just like something like more sensory than like visual, like maybe something audible. I don't know. Anyways, from this season, I think I will bring Charlie and actually Venus. She was good TV, but wasn't like as loud as Liz was, right? And she was also a little bit in her own delusion. So I think she will be a great character to bring back.
I'm pretty happy and a little surprised you said Venus, because I was going to say Venus and I thought you both were going to come for me when I said it.
No.
Because I really think that she was like out there really trying to play the game, and there were times where people were like giving her a hard time for taking credit for moves that she didn't make, but from her perspective and what she saw, she thought she did make those moves. Like, it's not that she was trying to steal anybody's thunder. She really thought that she made it happen.
I wonder if she would have made it to the final 3. How that tribal was gonna go. She claiming all of this moves, and they're like, no,
man.
That would have been like hilarious. I'm telling you, I would Venus back.
Gold. Absolute gold.
I would have loved that. Oh, you're so right. Now just thinking about it, we could have had that.
Right?
Could have had Venus in the end, and everyone.
I made this move. Oh no, you didn't, honey. What happened was unbeknownst to you. That will have been a great tribal. Damn it.
It would be good. But I think she has what it takes. And I think that for Charlie, I think you made another good selection there, because I think that once he kind of goes back and watches the season, and he can see from a viewer's perspective or from kind of like an outside perspective of what maybe contributed to him not winning the game, he could be like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of get it now. I see where I can improve a little bit. With a little bit of polishing, I think Charlie has a good shot in the future.
Yeah.
There's one y'all missed. Just one.
Just one?
Just one. And I think if he wants to do it, if he wants to do it, I think Q's back on your TV for 50. I personally think just
as the
super
chaotic character, we'll always have one that is like way too wild.
So if you don't think about it this way, he isn't exactly like Philip by any means, but he embodies a Philip character. You know what I mean?
I know.
But if they're looking for somebody that it's like people don't know what they're gonna do next, I think, and it's like kind of like a thing. I think Caroline will get in before Q.
I would be fine with that personally, but
what about both of them
together? Oh, well, sprinkle Philip in there too, and then just see what happens.
Oh. Now I don't know if I will do 15. They invite me. I will need to know who's going there.
You know, it'd be a crazy twist is if they take like, because there's such a push for like having mostly post-season 40 players, I think, on future seasons. But if they took like a post-season 40 player and a pre-season 40 player that are either, I can't decide if I think it would be better if they were most similar or most different from each other, and force them to kind of like work together in a blood versus water sort of situation, but like opposite track sort of situation.
Rivals.
Yeah.
Right.
But I want them to be forced to work as a team.
So you have rivals.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have rivals. I have people that they don't like me, which I still don't understand, and it's been years. They need to get over it. Because they don't have a reason not to like me. Like, because of, I don't know, they don't like me. It's fine. I live a happy life. They're missing out. But it will be fun. Are you asking me who I will bring as my rival?
Yes.
I don't think none of them will do it because they have kids now. And they have like little kids. So
you never know. People have left their small children.
Say, you don't know Boston Robbins played Survivor like 28 times, and he has a bunch of little kids.
Yeah, but he didn't like have the kid. He's not the mom. You know what I'm saying.
Get it?
You guys probably know who I'm talking about. But you know what? I think that to the fans, they think that Natalie and I will be like rivals. But that was like the way we were at that time. And I haven't talked to Natalie in a while. But it will be funny because if they think we're rivals, we're actually like decent friends now. Like, I really like Natalie, right? There's people that I really don't like, but I really like Natalie. One of the few people that I'm like, I'm excited to see her at the White Lotus. Am I bitter that I'm not in it? Maybe. But I'm so happy she is our third cameo in White Lotus. third. Yes. 4. I don't know. Third. Yes. Third.
There you go. Yeah, I think whatever they do for 50, they know they have to have the splashy big characters in it because it's 50. You know,
Yeah.
you can't not have it be an iconic season. We have been waiting for this for so long. But the problem is the pool is ginormous because you could go very different directions with this person and that person, but this person might just miss it because I already have too many of these people that are like this person. I think it's going to be a mess for how they go about the process for doing 50. However,
Also,
what I would like to
the
see
commitment
is
of it. The commitment of it.
Yeah.
Who can do it? Who cannot? Like I know that a lot of my people, like from my season, will have a lot of like that work like really great characters. They have a lot of like things going on right now, so I don't think that they will play because they have a lot of things. So that's also a factor to take into consideration. Please don't break Boston Robber.
Small request. I would
little
like
subliminal messaging going out into the universe.
yeah, we'll cut that out. But wait, it's live. Sorry, we can't do that. 24. I was like 24 players. 24 players out
24
there.
players.
I think that's
cool
how you
that.
can maximize your ceiling is at least having 24, if not 20. If I see 18, I'm gonna be really. If I see 18 and 3 tribes on season 50, I'm going to be angry.
I'm cool
I
with
think it's gonna
24
go for
players.
50 days. What?
Whoa.
Because it's 50. And Australia does it. Like there's no reason not to do it because Australia has set the precedent that you can go 50 days. You can do this for 50 days. There's content, there's games, like just like add fucking games that we haven't played in years or we haven't seen in years, right? Don't show us the same shit. But 24 play, like kind of like Australian version, 24 players, 50 days.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. More than one episode a week, if possible.
Yes.
I'm down for that too. That's what Australian Survivor does. And I'm cool with 24 players because I feel like I have a hard time getting those casts sometimes. Like even this season, there's always one tribe that's always losing. They dominate all the airtime, and then it's like the merge comes around, and I'm meeting contestants for the first time. Like I just haven't. They haven't been able to show us a lot of these people because they've got this one tribe losing all the time. So, but in this case, with 24 players, they would be players that we've already met. So that would make things a little bit easier in getting to know them.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We will see what happens.
I know we transitioned there, but we had to talk a little bit of 50 just because it's such a big thing that's going on right now. Yeah.
And the other hot topic that I want to ask you about, and maybe one of you has heard more about this than I have, but the SIA money thing.
It's gone.
Is gone. Do we think that was at SIA's request or Survivor's request? Because the way that it was announced, to me, the way I interpreted it, was like Survivor was the one that said no more SIA money. It's done.
I feel that CBA had something. It's behind that, right? Because the communication came out more of like the Survivor production family, more of like SIA decided not to be promoting already.
Right. And I just wonder why they made that decision. It was kind of a cool behind the scenes thing.
Do you think the SIA money affects how the players actually play? Because they say like, okay, I'm gonna go out baby this character and be great because even if I don't win, I can be a runner-up for the SIA money, and that's still some money.
Some people
Personally,
realize.
I don't think so.
Ooh, I think some people realize, hey, this isn't going the way I really necessarily want it to go. I can kind of change my dynamic here where, hey, I can maybe get that SIA money at the end of the season. I think so. I think it runs through people's minds, the SIA money. I absolutely do.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing when I played.
Okay.
When she gave it to Davey, I was like, what's that money? Who is SIA? Like, what happened here? Because if I knew, I would have like wanted a little bit of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
would
don't
have
know.
changed the way I played or what I said or what I did. But yeah, I don't know. I would have
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
crosses people's mind because
It could maybe as like in the example you gave. I feel like it's maybe kind of like an afterthought. Like hopefully, first and foremost in their mind is always like winning the game and $1 million. And then
yeah.
if they're maybe at
If
that
I
point, if
don't
they're like,
get
okay,
it,
this isn't going to happen for me. So let's kind of change gears a little bit, be likable, try to make it to the end, just as a go.
who were this season Siamoni Awards?
I don't know if she gave it this
I don't
season.
think anyone got it this season.
I think this was the first season without it.
The
Remember,
first
Q
season.
Since it
Q
started.
stepped up. Q stepped up and said, "I want to now provide the money."
You said that?
Who will provide the money? What?
You posted somewhere about stepping in and being the next Sierra or whatever it may be.
Does
I
he
don't
have
know
a lot
how
of money like that?
legitimate it is though.
Maybe if
I
his
can't
sweaters
see
take off.
anything.
Maybe if his sweaters take off, he'll step in and do money.
I can't do it, guys. I apologize. The most I can give people is $20, as Lauren knows, which I will Venmo to her after we finish.
I'll drop
But
the Venmo in the chat.
it can't be me. Maybe Mike White can be the Mike White Awards, and he was a player. Mike, give some money.
There you go. Yeah.
I think the last I don't know if she did this before, but last season she did like this whole party in her house, and the players were able to invite family members and friends, and they had like llamas and alpacas in it. Didn't you see the pictures?
I did not see the pictures.
Oh, Caroline posted the pictures. It was like Caroline and Jake also posted the pictures. It was like an adult kid's birthday party is the best way I can describe this.
Interesting.
Yes, it was like an adults having an adults like Keith Dean's birthday party. You know what I mean? They had alpacas and a lot of colors and balloons. I don't know if there was a piñata, but maybe, and I don't know. It was like wild. The pictures are out there.
I need to research
I'm gonna look that
after
up.
this podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up after this. Yeah, the way I interpreted it was like Survivor's decision, and I'm really curious. Of course, we may never know, but I'm really curious what their thought process was behind it. Maybe they were afraid it was influencing the game. I don't know why, because I mean, in reality, given like the theoretical situation Lauren provided, it would produce better television at least, right? So, I don't get it.
I don't know.
I'm trying to check if she said something, but everything came from the Survivor. Yeah, Jeff Probst, and she just reshared. What?
Yeah, because Jeff's the one that initially sent it out, right? And then.
And she reshared from Jeff.
Well, Sia is no more with the money, so people have to find another way to get it done, I guess. And I guess that is winning the game. Do y'all have any final thoughts on the season in general?
Overall, congratulations to all the contestants that made it out there and played. Glad to see you. Glad you got to live out your dream, and looking forward to number 47.
Yeah, it was good to see some faces out there, and we'll watch 47 and we'll have a great time.
Yep. So I would say this season for me, the merge definitely picked it up. So I was happy about that.
It did pick it up a little bit. Yeah.
It's not a bottom 5, bottom 10 season for me. So I will say the merge saved the season, in my personal opinion. But yeah, with that being said, we'll be back next time for 47 with our draft. Maybe we'll add another surprise guest or something. I'm still looking into that, so stay tuned on that one. But it will always be us three, myself, Cody, and Lyrsa. And with that, Cody, wrap us up. Take us home.
All right, everybody. As you can see at the bottom of your screen, make sure to go ahead and visit @brianasfw.com, JohnnyFairplay.com, SurvivorTX.com to check out all the events and exclusive podcasts that we have. If you've been following the channel, I think you know there's some big changes coming to the Reality After Show network. So make sure to stay tuned. Check out all of the new and great things that are coming your way. I won't say too much because I don't know what's already been shared and what hasn't. So I'm just going to say keep an eye out on the channel. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can see us wherever we are. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Lauren and Lyrsa. Thank you so much for doing this with me. This is always so much fun. And with that, we'll wish everybody a good night, and we'll catch you next time.
And for more bonus content, go to realitypatron.com. That's right, become a patron now. Get additional coverage of all your favorite shows, the weekly Q&A, and you become a member of the secret, exclusive Facebook group.